Usain Bolt is widely considered the greatest male sprinter of all time. That's right, folks. It's no secret that this Jamaican track star is the greatest of all time. We all have memories of Bolt's numerous world records, his playful personality, and the fierce rivalries. It's quite unfortunate that all good things must come to an end. And after a decade of dominating the sport, Bolt finally hung up his spikes in 2017. But in case his absence from last year's Tokyo Games bummed you out, let's take a look back at Usain Bolt's greatest moments on the track. When Bolt set sights on becoming a professional track and field athlete, he was originally a 200 meter and 400 meter runner. However, he lacked the passion to continue doing the 400 meter dash and had to work to convince his coach to only compete in the shorter sprints, which would be the 100 meter and 200 meters. His breakthrough came during the 2008 Reebok Grand Prix in New York, where at the age of 21 years old, he set a new world record of 9.72 seconds, blowing away the rest of the field. With the howling wind and a track littered with puddles of water from heavy rain, Lightning Bolt was the perfect addition. Racing under less than ideal conditions, Usain Bolt sprinted into the history books, destroying the previous world record of 9.74 seconds set by his fellow countryman Asafa Powell in 2007. But this was only the beginning of Usain Bolt's dominance on the track. The newly crowned 100-meter world record holder was expected to square off against former world record holder Asafa Powell and American favorite Tyson Gay in the 100-meter final at the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Unfortunately, the much anticipated matchup did not really happen, with Gay placing 5th in the semifinals, missing out on a spot in the final, and Powell finishing in a disappointing 5th place in the final of this event. However, the man of the moment proved to be none other than Usain Bolt, who cruised to an easy victory in the 100-meter final. With a little over 20 meters left to go, Bolt pounded his chest, celebrating well before the finish line, and broke his own world record with a new time of 9.69 seconds. He was the first man to run legally under 9.70 seconds, which heralded a new chapter in track and field, and was a sign that Bolt had something more up his sleeves. Fresh off his world record run in the 100-meter dash, all eyes were on Usain Bolt to once again deliver something spectacular, and he exceeded even our wildest dreams. Coming off the bend, headed into the final 100 meters, Bolt was in charge and created an enormous gap between himself and the rest of his competitors. When the clock stopped, it was clear that lightning had struck twice, and Michael Johnson's 200-meter world record of 19.32 seconds, which stood for more than 12 years, had been banished to the pages of history. In a moment of disbelief, Bolt had set a new world record of 19.30 seconds and became the 9th man in history to have completed the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash double at the same Olympic Games. It had been 24 years since the last Olympic double had been achieved, which made Bolt's feat even more memorable. And to top it off, he did it in record-breaking style. Truly, truly, truly remarkable. At the 2009 Berlin World Championships, Tyson Gay and Asafa Powell were back to challenge Usain Bolt for the coveted 100-meter title. Even if you weren't a die-hard track fan, you didn't want to miss a race with the three fastest men lined up against each other for an epic battle, and they did not disappoint. The silence in the stadium was broken with the firing of the gun, and all eyes were on Bolt, Gay, and Powell. Almost halfway through the race, Bolt separated himself from the pack by a clear 2 meters as Gay and Powell continued to give chase. As fate would have it, no one could catch Bolt as he stormed through the finish line, breaking his own world record again in 9.58 seconds. In a post-race interview, Asafa Powell said that even after crossing the finish line, he was still struggling to catch up with Bolt, which demonstrates how fast he was running. To this day, Usain Bolt remains the only man to have run sub 9.60 seconds in the 100-meter dash. Powell finished in third place with a time of 9.84 seconds, and Gay in second place set a new American record, and up to that point, the third fastest time ever of 9.71 seconds. These times showed the tremendous level of talent on display and the depth of the field, with 5 of the 8 competitors running below 10 seconds. At the same championships in Berlin, Usain Bolt's world record breaking streak was far from over, and he was the clear favorite to win the 200 meters. This event began slowly with a false start from Francis David in lane 2, but Bolt, with his usual pre-race antics, was clearly confident about winning the race. It was him against the clock. On the second attempt, the race began cleanly, and from the outset, Usain Bolt quickly gained a decisive lead over the other sprinters. If anyone for a slight moment doubted Bolt's ability to break his own world record again in the 200 meters, they were proven wrong, as the clock flashed 19.20 seconds when he crossed the finish line and was later rounded down to 19.19 seconds. This meant that Bolt had shaved 0.11 seconds off his old world record of 19.30 seconds, and he won this race by more than 7 meters. This was arguably one of the biggest winning margins in championship history. To further demonstrate the magnitude of this margin of victory, compare Bolt's 19.19 seconds with the second place time of 19.81 seconds by Panama's Alonso Edward. This was a historic win. At this edition of the Olympics, Usain Bolt successfully defended his 100-meter and 200-meter titles, becoming the first man to complete the 100-meter, 200-meter double in consecutive Olympic Games. If he wanted a third gold medal before leaving London, it would have to come from the 4x100-meter relay, just as it did in Beijing. The Jamaican men's lineup consisted of Nesta Carter, Michael Frater, Johan Blake, and Usain Bolt, of course. Blake and Bolt are the 2 fastest men ever, so I would go out on a limb to say this was a dream team. However, no matter how fast a team is individually, the baton needs to get around safely and quickly to secure the desired medal. The Jamaicans had a great start and neat changeovers, but on the penultimate leg, Johan Blake and Tyson Gay were neck and neck in a nail-biting race where anything could happen. The final handoff to Usain Bolt provided the edge the Jamaicans needed to secure the win, and they set a new world record of 36.84 seconds, breaking the previous world record of 37.04 seconds that they had set at the 2011 Daegu World Championships. They are the only men's team in the history of this event to have gone sub 37 seconds. Wow. Unfortunately though, we know that Bolt was later stripped of his 4x100 meter gold medal and Olympic record of 37.10 seconds from the 2008 Beijing Olympics because of doping charges against his teammate Nesta Carter. However, the team's medal and current world record from the 2012 Olympics remains intact. Undeniably, it was the injection of Usain Bolt at the end that led the team to a sure victory and ensured that at least one of their world records would be etched in the history books. Usain Bolt cemented his greatness by once again completing a successful campaign in defending his 100-meter and 200-meter Olympic titles. He had accomplished a never-before-seen triple-double and entered into sporting immortality. Although he had nothing left to prove, he was not to be denied one last victory before saying goodbye to the Olympic Games for good. He joined forces with Asafa Powell, Johan Blake, and Nickel Ashmead in the 4x100 meter relay. Just as in 2012, it was Usain Bolt that pulled away from the rest of the field, and with loud cheers echoing all over the stadium, he anchored the team to victory. It was not to be another world record, but they finished with an incomprehensible time of 37.27 seconds. Most importantly, it was the gold medal from this race that marked the end of Usain Bolt's Olympic glory, and he closed the curtains of his illustrious career with 8 Olympic gold medals. Every time Usain Bolt hit the track, he had our eyes glued to our television screens, and the excitement was just uncontrollable. It's highly unlikely that we will ever see another athlete equal or even surpass Bolt's achievements in our lifetime, and I'm glad to have witnessed this chapter in history. Let me know in the comment section which one of Usain Bolt's greatest moments was your favorite. Thanks so much for watching, and as usual, go and big up yourself.